Video games, a term used to describe an amalgamation of interactive entertainment played using a specialized electronic medium, displayed on a screen and used to control graphic images. By definition, video games have become synonymous with ideals and memories of merriment, frustration, and human innovation. With this preamble in mind, one would usually not also think to associate the aforementioned term with a sense of confusion, unease, and even a questioning of our whole state of being. What do I mean by this? To delve into detail would be to delve into the thesis of a madman, to be disregarded as raving from a man whose very sanity is now hanging by the most meager of threads. But the truly deranged do not believe themselves to be unhinged. Self-awareness are signs of a sound mind, you may trumpet. This is not the case. I know a part of my psyche is shattered long ago. If it had not, with the aberrations I had witnessed, would have me question whether I am truly human to begin with. For those of my flock that still have faith in me, that wish to stare into this unknown unwaveringly, let these words be your guide. Let us start from the beginning.
Tekken 4 Story Recap. 2 years ago, Heihachi Mishima failed to capture Ogre. Not willing to give up, Heihachi ordered his researchers to collect blood samples, skin tissue, and hoof fragments left behind by Ogre in his true form, in order to conduct genetic experiments. Heihachi's goal was to create a new life form by splicing Ogre's genome with his own. However, the research was unsuccessful. After extensive experimentation, Heihachi's bioengineers came to the conclusion that an additional gene, the devil gene, was necessary in order to successfully splice Ogre's genetic code into another living organism. Heihachi learned that his own genome lacked the devil gene, but he knew someone who had it: Jin Kazuma. Jin, who had vanquished Ogre in the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3, was shot and mortally wounded by Heihachi. As his life slipped away, Jin transformed into a devil. Upon his transformation, he struck down Heihachi and took flight. Jin's whereabouts were unknown after the tournament. Heihachi searched for Jin to no avail. However, Heihachi discovered a photograph during his investigations that stirred his curiosity. The 20-year-old photograph was an image of a burnt corpse covered in laceration wounds. Heihachi paid particular attention to the corpse's back, which had what looked like deformed, protruding, wing-like limbs. Convinced that the picture was of Kazuya, his own son whom he had thrown into a volcano 20 years ago, Heihachi diverted all his resources into a search for the body. This search eventually led Heihachi to G Corporation, a cutting-edge biotech firm making unprecedented advances in the field of biogenetic research. Heihachi discovered that G Corporation found the corpse and extracted and analyzed its genetic data. In fact, Heihachi learned that the company was in the midst of creating a new life form by using the data. Heihachi also determined that Kazuya's remains and the aforementioned research data were secured in G Corporation research labs in Nebraska and Nepal respectively. Friday, 25th of December. The Tekken Force raided G Corporation's maximum security research laboratory in Nepal. The bottom floors of the building were obliterated, and the remaining data storage facility containing file servers was airlifted by a group of heavy-duty helicopters. At the same time, a separate unit led by Heihachi infiltrated the underground research facility in Nebraska, where Kazuya's remains were preserved. As Heihachi observed from his helicopter, he soon realized that, unlike Nepal, the operations in Nebraska were not going according to plan. The tactical status monitor screens showed the first wave of the Tekken Force troops being blown out from the storage room where Kazuya's remains were supposedly kept. A silhouette of a large figure slowly emerged from the room. When Heihachi could see clearly enough, he instantly recognized the large figure as Kazuya. Kazuya was resurrected in G Corporation's research facility. After his resurrection, Kazuya offered his body as research material to determine the true nature of the devil that resided within him. Kazuya's goal was to unify his two selves into one. Kazuya theorized that if he unified his body with the devil, he would be able to truly harness its powers. He could then, finally, take revenge against Heihachi and the Mishima Zaibatsu. Enraged that Heihachi thwarted his plans, Kazuya obliterated the heavily armed Tekken force and vanished into the flames of the lab's wreckage. Heihachi was infuriated by Kazuya's escape and took out his anger on the hapless subordinates who reported the escape. Dr. Abel, Heihachi's lead scientific advisor, urged the enraged Heihachi to quickly find a way to capture Kazuya. Once his anger subsided, Heihachi focused his mind and decided upon a plan. An evil smile crept upon his lips. 2 years had passed since the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3. The Mishima Zaibatsu announced the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4 and placed the massive financial empire itself as the top prize. The champion who managed to defeat Heihachi at the end of the tournament would inherit the Mishima Zaibatsu. Well aware that the tournament was just a trap designed to lure him out, Kazuya nevertheless enters. It is his chance to defeat Heihachi. After defeating so many opponents, Kazuya arrives at stage 7 to face his son, Jin Kazuma, who ever since the ending of the third tournament had a grudge against the Mishima. After training in traditional karate for the last 2 years, Jin was finally ready to destroy the Zaibatsu and put an end to the cursed Mishima bloodline. However, he was captured and taken to Hanmaru, while others reported Kazuya as the default winner. Although sensing Heihachi's interference with Jin's disappearance, Kazuya proceeded to the final stage. When Kazuya met Heihachi, he asked what he did to Jin, with Heihachi saying that he would tell him after the fight. Pulling out all the stops, Kazuya was victorious. "Now take me to him as you promised." A few hours later, Kazuya and Heihachi finally arrived at Hanmaru. Seeing his son for the first time, Devil suddenly took over. "So, you were with him after all, my half." Hearing those words come out of Kazuya's mouth, Heihachi asked, "Who are you?" With Devil replying, "I am what you refer to as Devil. 20 years ago I lost a part of myself when you nearly killed me." He then proceeded to knock Heihachi out of the room and attempt to take Jin's Devil out. However, it ended in failure, and Kazuya once again regained control. "I see," he mutters. "I did not know the method of unifying our powers." He then taunted Jin to rise, which Jin did. When Jin finally frees himself, he starts to have final thoughts. "You! If only you were dead. Once I kill you, it'll all be over!" Suddenly, an enraged Jin fights and nearly kills Kazuya. When Kazuya is defeated, Heihachi once again walks over to his limp body. "What a pathetic wretch, you worthless coward." He then attempts to kill Jin and take his devil gene for himself. However, Heihachi is also defeated by Jin. As Jin morphed into his devil form, he prepared to deliver the final blow and kill Heihachi, once and for all. Just then, a bright light overwhelmed Jin, and as he saw a spiritual apparition of his mother, Jun Kazuma, he let Heihachi go. "Thank my mother, Jun Kazuma," he told Heihachi, and once again, he flew off into the night, leaving no sign of danger.
You focus on the wrong shit. Why these niggas talk shit? I pull out my car and then I pull up to the stars. Bitch, she wanna go far shit. I be on my Mars shit. You know I be soaring. They see me, I be scoring.